Welcome to The Little White Lie with Caren Glasser. The Little White Lie is all about the lies we tell ourselves about getting old and how to love the age you are in. Join Caren and her guests every week as they share their stories, expertise, tools, and tips on how we can all embrace our authentic self and say yes to embracing our little white lie. Hello, everyone. Caren Glasser here. I'm the founder of the Little White Lie Digital Network and online influencer, and we are so glad that you're here today. We have a great show. As I say every single week, if you're on replay, we're delighted you're here on replay. Make sure you comment below because this conversation is going to continue long after the live finishes. And as I do each and every week, I'm going to show you my reveal, show you this beautiful silver hair that's growing in. And there you have it. By the way, some of you have been asking, why do you do that each week? Well, my plan is to edit out my hair in each one of my videos and kind of do a flip card thing with my hair growing out in front of you. How cool is that going to be? Very cool. Okay, guys, I'd love for you to share. If you haven't already shared, look down on your mobile device or your computer, click that share button, share it out to your network. Let's bring some really cool folks in addition to the already cool folks that we have right here. And I'm going to put up the website. If you haven't already visited A Little White Lie, go check it out. All of the shows are there. All of the posts are there. And when you share and when you comment, make sure you use the hashtag Little White Lie. So today, the question that we're asking is, are you too old to feel great? I love that question. Are you too old to feel great? And I especially love one of my really good friends. She's joining us today, Kim Castle. She is a creative strategist and founder of Lifelicious. She's a former stand-up comedian. I mean, I want you to take notes because this woman has done it all. A stand-up comedian, a TV host, a writer, an award-winning art director. Her wit and wisdom has been featured on CNN Headline News, Fox Business News, Yahoo Small Business, and countless books and magazines. She's even won a Webby for her groundbreaking work for General Motors and was nominated for the Los Angeles Woman Making a Difference Award. But wait, there's more. Recently, she completed a development deal with ABC Television to create a healthy lifestyle programming for women. Kim is leading the way for busy women to live well. And without further ado, I'm going to bring Kim in. How are you today, Kim?
I am feeling great today, Caren. How are you today?
I am so awesome. It ought to be a sin. I am so happy that you're here today. We've been talking about this show for a while, and I love the topic, and who better than you to be talking about this topic about feeling great. And we're going to get into it in just 1 minute, but I like to be able to ask my guests before we actually dive in, what is your little white lie?
Oh, I tell a lot of lies. I tell myself a lot of lies, but I would have to say, I'd say the biggest little white lie would be about wrinkles. I've always had this thing about wrinkles, and I remember years and years ago, like decades ago, when my husband, my then boyfriend, now husband, one of the very first things I asked him to buy me for Christmas was this $50 Dior capsule of like serum for wrinkles. I was 22 years old. 22, like I had no wrinkles. So I would say if there's a lie, it's about wrinkles for some reason.
But that's, you know what? Thank you for being so vulnerable because I'm sure you are not the only one that worries about wrinkles. Hello? I mean, I'm sure. Okay, by a raise of hands out there in the comments, just let us know. Are you worried about wrinkles? Just put it in the comments. You're worried about wrinkles? Let us know. But we're going to move on to the question, and that is, are we really too old to feel great? So, Kim, I mean, you have really a very interesting journey that you went on, and which is why you are uniquely qualified to answer this question. Are we really too old to feel great? Tell us about what happened.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting when you get older and you start to feel not so fresh, you know, that feeling where you don't quite feel like you have everything, and you talk to an older person and they go, oh, are you aching, you're this or you're that, and they go, oh, that's just a part of getting older. And that I don't understand, like why that just got passed down like an heirloom, that you're supposed to feel like crap and talk about Cialis or drugs that you take as you get older. For me, I've always been a go, 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 overcome physical limits, push, push, push. Since I was 7, I used to, when I was young, I was really sick. I had a speech impediment. People couldn't hear me. I couldn't understand what I said. I had asthma. I was allergic to the city of Miami where I grew up. And at a very early age, I said I wasn't going to accept the limit. And I threw myself into being a synchronized swimmer and spent a lot of time underwater. And in a year, I was in the Junior Olympics and I cured myself of asthma. So I've always been a push, push, push. Until a few years ago, I was as you said, I was an art director, a speaker. I created the program Brand You. And all of a sudden, I'm very outgoing, love life, love people. And all of a sudden, I found myself sitting in the dark, just sitting in the dark. And I couldn't take the sound of TV. I couldn't take people talking. I couldn't be around people, which is not a good thing if you're a speaker.
Right.
And I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I was depressed all the time. As an athlete, I was conditioned to work out all the time. I taught aerobics for 15 years, but I would wake up in the morning and I would cry putting my sneakers on and I couldn't work out. And then I literally had nothing. And I was, quite frankly, suicidal.
Wow.
I wouldn't tell people, hey, hi, I'm Kim, I'm suicidal. But I could be driving on the highway and all of a sudden a thought would go through my head. I wonder what would happen if I drive off this overpass.
That's got to be really scary. I mean, I can't even imagine having those thoughts and being in that place, but you did discover what was going on, right?
Oh, yeah. I had what I call type A disease, like that go, 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 go.
Right.
You fall down, give me a moment, I'll get right back up kind of, thing. Give me fine. I'm fine. But it turned out I had deep adrenal insufficiency, or what people would call adrenal fatigue. Wow. I had hypothyroid, and I probably had these things for over 15 years, but I'm such a type A, so driven that I would keep going. I had metabolic issues. I had gut issues. Every afternoon I'd swell up till like I was 3 months pregnant. I had candida. I had infections, and all because I had worn myself out.
Right.
I call it like I borrowed fuel from my future because all of my chemicals were like nothing.
But you persevered and you found the right people to support you and to help you. And as we fast forward to everything that you've done, here you are, and I know you're not suicidal now. In fact, you are thriving. You got out of LA and you moved to beautiful Colorado, right?
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to put you on solo for a second because I want everyone to see this gorgeous kitchen that is behind you, because you actually created this new beautiful thing called Lifelicious. Yeah. And let's talk about that for a while. What is that, and how does that fit into this whole thing about being too old to feel great?
Right. Yeah. I definitely found support. I mean, I think for me, the challenge was just admitting something was wrong.
Right.
Because I'm such a go, 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 I don't want to admit there's a weakness. But I did find out, and I got some support of an integrative doctor. But I think the biggest thing that was the savior for me was I didn't accept feeling bad. Yes, there was something wrong, but I went, no, I'm still alive. I'm choosing to be alive. This planet is beautiful. Life is beautiful. And I want to feel not just good, but I want to feel great. So I made that choice. That was the first thing, is I didn't accept that, getting older is a part of, feeling crappy, or feeling crappy is a part of getting older.
Right.
So that's the first thing I decided was I'm going to feel great, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to feel great. And so that meant change my diet, change how I showed up as a type A, go, go, go woman. I had to completely shift. I had to understand what estrogen does, the powers of estrogen, and how living in testosterone or, that adrenal fatigue, how that actually makes us feel like crap. And Lifelicious it was started as a way to share my journey, because I know I'm not the only woman that felt like that or feels like that and is wondering what happened to the me that I used to know, right? And so now Lifealicious has evolved. I mean, I'd say the biggest shift that happened besides, getting that support and getting more fuels, like the fluid back, like my adrenals are up, my cortisol up, serotonin's back up, was really changing my relationship with food.
Wow.
And so Lifealicious is now about really understanding how to be vital with food.
I'm going to actually put that up on the screen. You're changing your relationship with food. I'm just going to put that up there because that probably says it all right there. Changing our relationship with food. And we have several people that were actually making comments. First of all, April wants you to know that never mind the gorgeous kitchen, you are glowing and outshining your kitchen. Which, thank you, April. And we all need an April in our life. We actually all need an April.
So sweet.
So I have a question for you,
April.
There you go. And that's a delicious drink, by the way. I have a question for you. So, okay, I know I'm looking at the comments that are actually flying in here right now, and they're wondering, how to start. What do you suggest for all of us women out there, and men too, who are just going type A personalities, and something is not right? Where do they start? Where should they go?
The first thing to start, I would say, is pay attention to the loop. I call her the loop, but it's that little loop in your head. Mm-hmm. Mine was the loudest when I was doing my dishes. So it would talk to me, why are you doing this? What are you doing? What do you do? And it would just loop around. And that's really the voice of exhaustion. And I realize now she was trying to protect me, but at the time I kind of pushed her away and kept, no, I got a deadline, or no, there's something else to do. So first pay attention to the loop. And if it's saying you're tired, listen. Doesn't mean you give into it, but find out why you're tired. The second thing that I did is, like I said, I made a commitment that I wanted to feel great. And it's important to really make to differentiate between feeling good and feeling great. I kind of say, the way that I think about great is, remember how when you were a little kid, at maybe 5 years old, and you're playing outside on a summer day on the slip and slide, and that exuberance about life and joy. I believe that we can live that way until we're not on this planet.
Oh, I love that.
That's what I think of great. So make a choice that you want to live great. And then I'd say the third thing is to put your well-being first.
Put your well-being first. Okay. That can be hard, though, sometimes, right? For all of us A-type personalities, all of us who work, we get up early, we go to bed late, we don't leave our desk. It's hard to put ourselves first, isn't it?
Yeah. And the thing that it's weird, you have to reprogram yourself because you programmed yourself to work hard. You programmed yourself to go. So a great way to start is the way that I reprogrammed myself is, that moment when you're laying in bed and you're just coming to, you're waking, your eyes are open, and I would check in and I'd say to my well-being, I literally had to speak to it as in third person because I was that separate from it. What do you need? What do you need right now to feel great, to feel supported? And sometimes she would just say, you know what, don't talk to anybody for 15 minutes. Or sometimes she'd say, you know what?
I need coffee.
A chai tea. A chai tea. Or, you know what, why don't you just stay in bed for another 5 minutes? Now, for me, that's unheard of. Okay. I'm the kind of person that I would make my bed before I'm out of it.
This is so important. Me too. I mean, I get this. I totally get this. I'm not a good listener to myself, but I totally get what you're saying. And I know that our viewers are getting it as well. I'm going to put another comment up here and I'm going to read it. I want to be able to continue to do things like run up the stairs, sit on the floor with my legs crossed, and play Twister with the grandkids. What I choose to put in my body is so important. Listening to how certain foods affect me. What a great comment. And that's just in alignment with what you're saying. Exactly.
Absolutely. Food, we don't realize, and I don't know, just because probably our parents didn't know it, the people at school didn't know it, but food 100% affects the quality of your life.
It does.
That we're like a chemistry factory, and every food that we put in introduces another chemical. And so we can completely feel great by what we put in our and pay attention, as was that Michelle said.
Right.
Pay attention to how it makes you feel.
Right. Now, I know that you have a YouTube channel, and of all the call to actions that I'm going to put up there, I actually don't have your YouTube channel. You have all those great videos that you have done in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going to send them? To Kim Castle on YouTube, or is
You
it
can go
Lifelicious?
you can go to YouTube, Kim Castle, Lifelicious there as well, lifelicious.me. If you want to look at the videos, it's just, if you just go kimcastle.tv, it'll take you to my YouTube channel.
Great.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons that I got this kitchen, is to be able to film in the kitchen and to actually do cooking shows where we can have a conversation and laugh. But I really want to empower us women, type A women, to get back in the kitchen and get our energy back there, and to make it fun and not feel like we're going against all of the things that we were told in the 70s, that, you know, we can do more than be in the kitchen.
And multitasking. I mean, that's a whole nother subject. Multitasking. We all used to say, "Oh, I can multitask." Women can do 10,000 things at the same time. Guess what, ladies?
Right.
It's not healthy. It's just not healthy.
Although I am like a consummate multitasker, so the way that I do it now is through superfood. I'm a geek about ingredients. So if I'm going to put something in my mouth, I want to make sure it's doing at least 3 or 5 different things to my body.
Well, Kathleen says, every food and every thought, it's all nourishment or toxicity. What a great comment. That's a great comment.
A great comment.
So I'm going to show people how they can get in touch with you right now. On Facebook, you're just going to go to facebook.com/Kim Castle, or you can go to Twitter and you can follow Kim on Twitter at Kim Castle, and Instagram at Kim Castle, and also lifelicious.me. You're going to be able to find out all about Kim there. Any last thoughts that you want to share with our audience?
Just, if there's one thing I can share, like I said, about choosing to feel great, but also choosing, like really looking at your relationship with food. I mean, up till 5 years ago, I could care less about food. Give me a bar or a pill or a shake. I was always concerned about losing weight and not putting anything in my mouth, kind of thing. On Instagram, if you go to Instagram, you can see that I share a lot of healthy recipes right there on Instagram. Beautiful things like this. So you can see the recipe for this right there. Also my cookbook, you can get my cookbook for free. Desserts, I'm a sweet tooth, and I think you can have your cake and eat it too. But really look at your relationship with food, and to realize that we don't eat because we're hungry.
Right.
We eat for fuel. And if you want to feel great, eat food that fuels you to feel great.
It's such a simple concept when you say it like that, right?
Yeah.
Just, you know, have a good relationship with food, put the right kind of foods in your body. And if it, you know, it is that simple, ladies and gentlemen, it is that simple. You just have to pay attention. So I'm going to throw on a couple more comments, just because they're coming in all over the place. Looking forward to seeing your site, Kim. Love you've chosen to create this delicious life. I love that. And what a great conversation. And you are leaving us wanting more. Well, that's what we try to do here, because we want you to come back next week and join us for the next show. Look, guys, we really appreciate that you're here today, because we know that you have a choice. I mean, we are busy. We are always busy. Go, go, go. We're just talking about that. And we want to thank you, because you made the choice to join us today. And we are so appreciative. Kim, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to everyone who was here live on the show. And don't forget to join us next week, same time, same bat channel, for the next episode of The Little White Lie. Goodbye, everyone.